Dr. Gorka, as you look at the target, which today was Brussels, this is symbolic in many ways because this is the capital of the EU for all, intents and purposes.
Yes, for our viewers, they need to understand that Brussels is the Washington, if you will, of the European continent. So from the 1950s onwards, there's been this push to create a kind of federative Europe through things such as the European Coal and Steel Community, which became the European Economic Community and now the EU. And Brussels houses the European Commission, so that's the bureaucracy for the EU. It houses half of the European Parliament, and most important of all, really, it houses the headquarters of the North Atlantic Treaty Alliance, so NATO. So we have an incredibly symbolic target that represents the heart of Western civilization outside of North America, and as a result, it is a very, very attractive target for jihadis.
Do you think that the location of NATO has something to do with it, or it just happens to be there?
No, I think absolutely. I mean, look at 9/11. In 9/11, Al-Qaeda hit very symbolic targets. The economic symbolism of the World Trade Center, the military symbolism of the Pentagon, and we now know the third target wasn't the White House, it was Capitol Hill, so that's a political symbol. Brussels has all of those economic, political, and military hubs, so it really is equivalent to an attack on Washington.
Dr. Gorka, we had a guest on just a minute ago, Mr. Hepp, and he mentioned the importance of social media surveillance. Are we doing enough?
No, we're not. My colleagues, my friends inside the FBI are doing an amazing job. We've intercepted more than 90 people in the U.S. that are connected to ISIS in just the last year and a half, and almost all of that has been done on the internet. But as a nation, strategically, we're not taking down the ideologues. We focus almost exclusively on the operational heads, the masterminds. They can always find people to do Brussels-type attacks or San Bernardino-type attacks. We must target the ideologues, the people who spread the narrative of jihad, and we don't touch it because we have an administration that says you can't talk about jihad and religion is irrelevant. Well, if that's what we're going to do, we will be doing whack-a-mole for the next 100 years.
And it's not worked to this point.
Dr. Gorka, it's extraordinary that the Belgian minister warned last week of revenge attacks. He warned this over the last couple of days. Now at the maximum level because of the takedown of the terrorists. They grabbed him on Friday. So they were at maximum terror level in Brussels, and yet they were able to pull it off.
Yeah, incredibly, this is a man who, think about this, he didn't detonate his suicide vest in Paris, and instead of getting out of the continent, hiding in, Iraq or Syria or Africa, what does he do? He goes back to where he used to live, around the corner from his family's home, and he hides in plain sight for 4 months, and nobody finds him. Incredible. Truly a real failure of counterterrorism intelligence.